Okay, this poor guy, man. They busted down his door. This is the Area 51 researcher who basically got all his shit busted down. George Arnoux. Him and his girlfriend. Basically, they did the old intimidation. This is what happens when you do this thing. Now, it's his own fault. First off, he's like, oh, I lost all my medical records and everything with my. Okay, so listen, you do what I do, dumbass. You have your shit separated. You have all of your, medical records and all that stuff, a copy on a hard drive somewhere else, just like I do. I have a copy of all of my UFO videos, all my medical stuff, all of my personal family photos. Anything that means anything is on a 6 terabyte drive in someone else's house. Simple as that. Number two, the sign clearly states photography of this area is forbidden. Photography of this area is prohibited. This is, hang on a second, 18 USC 795. Warning. Unauthorized personnel not permitted beyond this point. Warning. Lethal force. Air Force installation. It's not, I hate to say it, but the guy brought it on himself. Okay? He's not the only person to take pictures of Area 51. But if you want to make yourself a central point, okay, there was a period there for, I don't know, this was in 2011, the first time I filmed Mr. Beautiful. I had my computer broken into. And I think I made it, everyone who was on the gamers page, remember when I made the video, all of my UFO videos were gone. But I have copies of copies of copies of copies of copies. Half the shit that I video, there's no doubt in my mind, is military. The Tic Tacs they talk about, that's us. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I can say, and there's not a damn thing they can do about it. But at the same time, if you're going to insinuate yourself into their lives by flying drones and this kind of shit and trying to get pictures of Area 51, it clearly states you can't photograph that area. Now, there's a difference between photographing within the fence line and photographing with outside the fence line, and that, I believe, is where we are going to see the case dismissed and thrown out. This is why they moved to Dugway, by the way. That's because in Dugway, there is no mountain range they can stand on and get a clear fucking view of Area 51. Tickaboo and all those that they incorporated into Area 51 to try to eliminate that wasn't enough because of just lens technology. Fuck, I mean, you take a telescope up there with a camera on it and you can get a pretty damn clear shot, because I've seen them also flying. I've seen videos and pictures of people flying outside of the Area 51 restriction zone, getting very good pictures of Area 51. So he kind of brought it on himself. I hate to say that. I don't like the way they were treated, though, with making his girlfriend go outside in her underwear. Okay, that's a little fucked up. This is the bad part that I talk about. The military-industrial complex. We need the CIA. We need the NRO. We need the NSA. They are absolutely necessary for our security. I don't care what people say. Okay? Absolutely necessary, and they need to be left the fuck alone and let them do their job, because they're protecting us every day. You have no idea of some of the plots that they've stopped, okay? But having this girl stand out there in her underwear Come on. There's no gentleman in the fucking crowd there? There's no gentleman at the OSI or the FBI? No gentlemanly people busting down doors? Okay, you got the guy. He did something you didn't want him to do, all right? But being a fucking asshole about it is not the way to engender people like me who believe in your mission, okay? Uh, so I'm going to say the same thing I say about everything. There's good and there's bad. There's good cops and bad cops, good politicians, bad politicians, etc., etc. Okay, there are also good and bad FBI agents. But you know, the guy asked for it. He asked for it. If you're not going to be able to get a shot of S4 because that is defilade where you can't get video or pictures. It's also camouflaged extremely well, okay? But yeah, you just not you're not allowed to video it, and he's done something they didn't want him to do. But I think that what happens is this is going to go to court, and he may end up suing them for multi-millions of dollars, and they may end up fucking losing. Because as far as I know, he has taken no pictures inside of Area 51. What the fuck? Is he saying something different than what I'm saying? That Tic Tacs are United States military's fucking secret vehicles? What the fuck? When I say, yeah, I've been in the best bus with the blacked out fucking windows, they're not knocking down my door. Because all the videos I took were from my property. All the UFO videos I have are from my property or from TV. So, what can I say? I want to inform people. I don't want to make a living at this. It's not something I want to do for money, okay? I'm just very curious about other intelligences from other systems and how advanced are they? Are they 10,000 years more advanced than us? Are they 1,000,000 years more advanced than us? Because I can tell you, Mr. Beautiful, he's not from a technology that's we would understand. When it looks like God made the vehicle, yeah, that's different. Any, some of the weird strobers that I see, my first assumption when I see that, no matter how weird it looks, I always assume that that's us. But when I see a hollow fucking rainbow parked right here, flashing and communicating with me in the exact same wavelength of light that I'm sending to them, that's different. Okay? So you'll get to see all those when I post them to YouTube. But this guy, he kind of brought it on himself. It kind of sucks. You don't hear much about UFO investigators or researchers or anyone else getting arrested and having their doors kicked in. Okay, other than Bob Lazar and this guy. And Bob Lazar, they have fucked with that guy because he started this whole thing. And you see, the more time goes on, the more people find out that Bob Lazar is telling the truth. He did read, information given to him in folders by the OSI that said, yeah, aliens had been here. They've been tampering with our DNA. Here's autopsy photos. Here's the technology. Here's all the different races that we know about so far, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's all the truth. And that's why they fuck with him. Because they want him to shut him up. And also, they think that he has some element, 115 hidden somewhere. So they show up in weird chemical suits and everything, you know what I mean? They just fuck with the guy. Like when they set him up with a bunch of hookers in Vegas and then busted in on him and shit, okay? They're the only two that I know of that have ever been hassled or headached over anything. No matter how convincing the video, no one's ever had their door kicked in and the video taken from them that I know of. They might snoop around your fucking PC a little bit because they can, but they kicked down his door for a reason that they thought they could prove in court. So we'll find out. As far as I know of, the guy's never been inside Area 51 taking pictures. At that point, they have a pretty weak fucking case. I think this is harassment to get him to stop doing what he's doing because he's too close to something else, which is probably the public companies that are controlling these technologies that we need right now to save our fucking planet. But they know that if they came out and said, oh yeah, we've had vehicles that could fly to the moon and back 35, 40 years ago, people would ask, well, why the fuck did all them shuttle astronauts die? Why have we spent trillions of dollars on space programs? We didn't see the questions that will be asked on the day of disclosure will be very difficult to answer. So they're going to wait until they can use it as a, look, we're the heroes. Look, we stopped the war, or we prevented an alien invasion, or see, they need a way to out themselves because at this point, the technology does them no good. Everyone knows UFOs exist. Everyone's already been photographing them like fucking crazy. They can no longer say, oh, you're nuts if you saw a UFO. And so now Navy pilots are coming out and saying, yeah, I got in a dogfight with one. So he did something else. He did something that's not in this article because it's part of their case against him. So I guess we'll have to follow it and find out.